What's up?
What's going on, brother?
So, as I was saying backstage, of course, any guys don't know it. Well, there's only a couple people watching, anyways. But regardless, I got your shipment. I ordered some of your Doomsday Delights, your Skittles. I've never had. I mean, I've seen 1,000 videos, shorts on TikTok and stuff like that of people selling them, but I've never actually tried any, and these are interesting. They are quite good. I actually prefer the smoothie ones over the tropical. My kids like the tropical ones better, but just going through, and we sat there as my wife was still finishing up work, and we sat there. We tried all the little different packages sent out as well. The Charleston Chew's interesting. It's just like something just melts into your mouth, and the Skittles are cool. The nerd clusters are interesting, and it's all interesting. It's new sensation.
It's different, right?
Used to, yeah. I mean, the only freeze dried thing I can probably say I've ever actually had is like bananas.
Right. So I really like freeze dried bananas. I kind of do those for myself a lot because I really like my freeze dried bananas, and I can control it. So I slice them like really thin so that they kind of turn into this chip.
Yeah, and they did a lot with kids, like with babies and stuff like that. You can get like the freeze dried bananas and stuff, and that's where I've had them before. But that was it. So I've never really tried. And we started watching a little bit more of your shorts and stuff like that. My kids want to see what else you tried to put in there and stuff like that.
So I'm glad you enjoyed it. A lot of people don't know because it's not something that I've really like advertised a whole lot. I kind of threw like a little snippet on one of the videos that I had this going on with my daughter. You joined the live, so I mean you got to come hang out with us. So appreciate you for being a friend. I mean, just being a friend. I appreciate you for being a good friend. So you joined.
What people don't know is I was actually on there, and so was his wife, and we were harassing.
Yeah, just harassing the hell out of me. But anyways, so. That's something that my daughter and myself started doing 5 weeks ago. So we started this channel on TikTok 5 weeks ago. We're at 1,100 followers now. I have to say followers because she makes sure that I understand that subscribers and followers aren't the same thing. Mm-hmm. Our lives hit off really well. The day that you were on there, you said
you were hitting. I think you were popping up. The max we've seen towards the end, it was like around 125 people watching at a time.
Yeah, on average, we're about at 160 people is where we're at on average. Sometimes we get up to 1,000, but TikTok trickles back down the longer you're on. It's weird, but anyways, we've been doing really good with it. You said make a candy after me, so I did the Techbot bites, which was funny, right? Because I did the nerd bites, and I said, well, what do we call them? We'll just call them Techbot bites, right? And the last weekend on the live, somebody asked us why they were Techbot bites, and I had to do the whole story, like me and you going live on YouTube. And anyways, your name's Mr. Techbot, so I had to give like a whole spiel last weekend. They sold out. I mean, they sold out so fast that I said, "Hey guys, I will go in and do a flash sale on them." And I went to do the flash sale, and they were gone. Oh, wow. I said, well, I'll get some more, and I'll do it tomorrow, right?
And you should do it Byte, BYTE.
I should do it. I should change that. You're so right. That'd be awesome. You're so right. I'm gonna go change that. So the next day, so we did Saturday and Sunday is what we've been doing. I said, all right, Rue, because Rue's my daughter. I said, all right, Rue. I said, we have 8 more of them on here. We're gonna do the flash sale. I hit the button to do the flash sale, and it's sold.
Wow. Yeah, I seen what your daughter does. Some of the packaging up, and there's a couple people that are buying like 2 of them at a time, stuff like that.
We've been doing really well with it, and if you're following me over there, I truly appreciate all love and support. I think we decided last weekend, because we are just a very small business, right? This is like a mother, daughter, father like thing. This is very small, that we're just going to do like limited runs like we did last weekend with the Techbot.
Do what you can do to sell out.
Yeah, we're just going to do limited runs till they can sell out, and then we're going to keep experimenting with stuff so that we can keep like bringing some new stuff like to the market. But even then, it will be a limited run thing even then. So I started
when you put them in. How long does it take?
So it just depends on what they are. Like if I do bananas, they take 10 hours.
Oh wow.
If I do Skittles, they take about 4 hours. So a lot of people want to come on and they go, right now, I think that we're at the very bottom end of the price on TikTok. And a lot of people want to come in and they're like, there's no way I'm paying $5 for Skittles. That piece of equipment's a $4,000 piece of equipment.
Yeah, I've looked it up. I'm like, damn, that thing's expensive.
I mean, so it's a $4,000 piece of equipment that makes those Skittles. So
4,000 initial investment.
and so it has to have some kind of a price associated with it. And for some reason, people can't grasp that, but there's a lot of people that do. But there's something that we've been messing around. I want you to check this out. So I'm gonna put these up there this weekend. We're gonna do like a limited run of these guys. I think my daughter's calling it like acid bark or something like this. Do you know what that? Can you see what that
Oh,
is?
they're for roll-ups.
So we took fruit roll-ups, we put 3 of them together, we smashed these guys together, and then put them in the freeze dryer. Check this out. So then these things just kind of break apart, right? So you just like snap these things apart, and check this out. Good, all good.
Well, what's funny about these is, and I think you might have said at one point, is again they pop out, but they don't have the chew like a Skittles would, and it's got that crunch, but it actually almost like intensifies the flavor.
Yep,
it's inside there. It's crazy.
It does really bring it out.
If you're on TikTok, definitely get over there. Make sure to check out Doomsday Delights. Get some. You can order some right now if you want to.
For sure. There's some up there. We don't have any Techbot bites, so
we are actually. I'm bringing some to work. I ate about probably half of the smoothie pack already.
I love those. Those are my favorite.
Because I literally had to stop myself because I was just sitting there just munching away on it. I put half of it. I put the rest of it in my lunch bag so I could take it to work so I could show some guys at work because I don't know if they've tried it either. But yeah, it's definitely get it. So I'll be ordering more for sure.
Well, that's awesome because I didn't realize that you hadn't actually tried anything freeze dried. So next time you order, I'm just going to throw in a big collaboration of stuff in there because I didn't know so me and my daughter have had the benefit now of just buying different things and throwing them in to see what happens. We're like, oh, I wonder what happens if you throw this in. See. So we've been able to play a little bit, and that's how we kind of like found the fruit roll-ups is just kind of like playing around a little bit. It's a lot of fun. I think that it's going to go really big places.
Well, and you think about it, even the pack, like I just happened to be on there and I caught one of your flash sales, and I bought. I mean, it's a good bag. The initial bag I paid like literally like $2.50.
Yeah, that's the other thing people don't get. There's all kinds of sales.
It's something that you see a lot of them online, but you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to try them. And this was. I'd never tried it before. I'm like, hey, you had a flash sale going on. I'll grab one real quick just to check it out and do it. But even at your normal price, I mean, you're talking $5 a bag. That's, I mean, you're almost paying $5 for a bag of Skittles at the damn Wawa down the street.
Yeah, so they're not overly priced. There's just a lot of people that get real sensitive, and we have like this crazy like community. There's people that love it and people that hate it. And for some reason, the people that hate it have to let you know that they hate it. It's really weird. I see that we got some people in the chat. So let's hit these guys up real quick because I see that Christina's had some like killer like comments over there.
I do have to address one thing though that I did get a couple comments, but I will do that right after it. First up, really early on, we had Mr. Chase's Kingdom.
Chase's Kingdom's in the house.
We had Miss Christina Payne. What's going on?
We had always love to see Miss
Candyman R.I.P., which I believe I don't think we'll see him on here too much, but I believe he's in Asia right now somewhere. That dude travels like crazy. I do follow him on Instagram.
Always want to go to Asia.
I've never seen what he looks like. He never shows his face. But he has some of the craziest food adventures I've ever seen. You think I have some cool food adventures? You got to check out Candyman. Where this guy goes, it's absolutely nuts. We have Pops Mafia in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you stopping by. And I think that's where we're at so far.
That's so cool.
You know, I know it's my channel. It's not Wayne's channel, so you know, not as many people watch. But he says he's in Korea.
Korea, I seen that.
He was in Korea.
Back, yeah, Korea, but back.
And he's actually from where I went to high school. He's in, I believe, on the West Coast, like a Bay Area, California. I went to high school in San Jose, so
you'd almost have to be if you're traveling back and forth to Asia.
Oh yeah, but he has some crazy eating adventures. But I do want to reference something, and I regret nothing in my life ever. And I don't take back anything I said, but I do want to address something that I said last week. I had a rant about a YouTuber, Dr. Applesauce, and
you said it again.
Yep. And I had a couple people text me, saying, "Hey, I'm friends with him." Blah blah. I don't. To be honest with you, that's cool. I'm not trying to make anybody put somebody in the middle between myself or anybody else. My opinions are strictly my opinions of a person. Has nothing to do with anybody else. If you disagree, cool. That's all right. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. Just because I dislike a person for what they do is my dislike for them, and that's just it. Whether or not they care, it doesn't matter to me. Whether or not someone's upset that I take nothing back. But I want to make sure everyone's aware that what I say on this channel, I'm not trying to persuade anybody from thinking anything different about another person. I am strictly expressing my own opinion.
I didn't think you were trying to persuade anyone. I mean, I didn't feel like you were. I don't know if like that was the census, but I didn't consensus. I didn't feel like you were. I see that you have like a dragon behind you though. What is that dragon to the right?
This guy? This is my figment.
It's to your what?
My figment bucket.
What is it? Is that a bucket?
Yeah, it's a popcorn bucket.
That's
you
Disney.
Basically check this out. So
well,
you have his nose here, right? And you grab his mouth, and his popcorn bucket opens up.
Oh no! What's wrong, Disney?
You got to shut him up.
You're doing too much.
And then
Disney.
it opens up.
You're doing too much, Disney. That's pretty awesome, though. All right, anyways. I didn't feel like you were like I didn't feel like that's what was going on at all. But it's whatever. I mean, I don't really care. I'm kind of like with you. If I say it, I said it. It's whatever. I said it, and I probably meant it when I said it. I mean, so it's just whatever. I wanted to know though, because you're a Disney guy. There is a new Wish star that hit Disney that I need you to get your hands on for me.
Oh yeah, I've seen this thing.
What do you mean you've seen this thing? You've seen this thing and hadn't gotten one yet?
I don't know if I've seen it in person, but I've seen it in pictures. But I kind of, I mean, the whole diamond thing, is it Disney Parks exclusive?
It is a Disney Park exclusive. It's the Diamond series.
Parks yet.
It's the Wish Star. Help me out with what the Wish Star is.
The Wish Star is, I don't know fully because I haven't seen the movie, but this is off of a movie called Wish that they released right around the end of the year, and it's basically about a person. Again, I don't know the full story because I haven't seen the movie. We were wanting to see it, and then I think we're just going to wait for it to come out on Disney Plus. But yeah, it's she makes a wish, and she ends up making her sheep talk, and some ruler's trying to grab her wishing star or something like that. But basically, it's off a more of an original created movie by Disney. As far as I know, I don't know if there's a backstory to it, but they put a lot of merchandise backing on it. So I've seen a ton of merchandise for this movie in the parks.
Hey, well, if you see one, just remember Wayne when you're out and you're out in the park and
we've been trying
your great adventures.
Right before we started, I was talking with my wife. She rushed in here today. I didn't expect her to, and change around my background because I still had a bunch of the Christmas stuff up, and I went on because I was like, man, we haven't been to the parks in a little while, especially before Christmas. And, I didn't want to go last week because last week they had the Disney Marathon going on. So it's like a 4-day thing, whole bunch of people. And it's like, oh, maybe we'll go this week. And it should quiet down. And then I'm like, there's no reservations. I'm like, what the hell is going on this weekend? I was like, oh, wait, Martin Luther King Day. Great.
I guess I didn't know that. That explains a lot. I understand so much more now because I've kind of had this same like confusion, like what is going on? What
Yeah.
is going on at this moment? Well, it all makes a little bit more sense to me, I guess.
And then next weekend, and then the weekend after that, we're probably going to head out to the coast. We haven't decided yet. We might go out to something that they've recently brought back out here called the Key Lime Pie Festival that they usually have out towards Cocoa Beach. And we used to go to a lot, but since COVID, they got rid of it. So this is the first year it's back. So we're definitely we're thinking about going to check it out.
So you're gonna go check out a what? A key lime
pie festival. So now out here in Florida, the first 3 months of the year, at least up here in Central Florida, I don't know what it's like for Chase down there, but the first 3 months of the year is really festival time. So because it's cool, weather's good, it's before it gets hot, and so we have a lot of festivals. You have the Key Lime Pie Festival, we got the state, the big state fair that goes on in Tampa. We've got the Strawberry Festival that's coming up. We got all kinds of big things. So it's festival season coming up around here. And if you want to find the craziest deep fried whatever, you go to the fair.
So what is your favorite deep fried? Oh man, we're talking food today.
I'm more of a classic, a deep fried Oreo, although I've had a deep fried Twinkie, and that's something magical. But I've seen them sell things like deep fried butter that just kind of scared me. But yeah, they'll deep fried
butter.
Deep fried butter.
Oh, I don't know if I can mess around with deep fried
butter.
Yeah,
I usually don't go with that one, but
deep fried butter.
There's one booth I go to every year for my strawberry shortcake when we go to the Strawberry Festival, because that's probably the one we go to every year. We absolutely love the Strawberry Festival. And then and then they've got to, we always try something new when we go there. So you never know what we find. And my kids like it because we usually get starting early because they're kind of picky at some aspect. We just get a big bucket of French fries from Fisk French Fries, and that kind of satisfies them for a little while.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How about the Muppet Monster? So this is baby animal. It's baby animal from the Muppets, and they're calling them the Muppet Mayhem. What do you think?
Well,
I'm not hating it.
I'm not hating it, but I'm very confused by it because Muppet Mayhem that speaks to me, if you're a Muppet fan, that it's talking after the band, the Dr. Teeth and the Mayhem Band. I believe that's what it's called. I may be wrong, but so you're using the Mayhem, but there's already been a Muppet Babies cartoon. I mean,
has there been a Muppet Baby Pop?
I've never seen a Muppet Baby Pop. No, as far as I remember. I mean, Chase might know more than I would, but yeah, I'm confused by the packaging on this one because you're kind of combining two completely different things. I mean, you can see even in the comments somebody posted up about Muppet Babies, and I think there would be a lot more old school. I mean, that you're going back talking early 2000s, late 90s when Muppet Babies came out, and you get a lot of those adults that remember that old school type of item. For that I think would be more interested than having a Muppets Mayhem.
So apparently there was an Electric Mayhem band, right?
Yes,
for the Muppets.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band.
They're supposed to be Miss Piggy, Kermie, Gonzo, and
here again. Now again, you're confused. I'm confused.
I was reading the comments
because it's actually I think the full name of the band is called Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem Band, but Kermit, Miss Piggy, Gonzo, Fonzie, they were never in the band. So if you're going to do a Mayhem series, which they did do like a Mayhem type of show on Disney Plus, talking more based upon the band, then I would say do the baby versions of the band, or just do pop versions of the band, and then do the Muppet Babies with the Muppet Baby logo. I mean, again, to me, I think, although very cool, you're going to turn a lot of people off because a lot of people are going to be like, "What the hell? You're not getting the details right."
So there's something that I see that's going to happen with this pop though, and I seen one of the comments that says this is most definitely going to be a flocked pop. They're going to do this pop 3 different ways. Y'all watch what I tell you. We're going to have a flocked version of this pop. We're going to have the regular version of this pop. That's the first one they'll let out. And then we're going to have a black light version of this pop. Y'all watch what I tell you. There's going to be 3 different versions of it. I like the idea. I like the concept. I like the Muppet Babies, but I hate the fact that it's so small. So this is Funko's way of making their product smaller with the disguise that it's a baby, right?
Well, that, and especially if they package it the way this picture shows, that's really bad because that's a lot of negative space.
Yeah.
And they should at least have the packaging where it's up a little bit more, taking over the full part of the window.
And a diamond. Candyman's like and a diamond. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It is going to be really small. This is kind of a rant I went on one of I went on this little bit of a rant in one of the group chats that we're in about this just the other day about Funko in general and what's going on and a lot of the problems we're seeing coming from Funko at this moment. A lot of the problems we're seeing coming from Funko at this moment, I don't know if you read the rant. Let me break it down to you. So I worked for a really large molding company at one point. Lou, Andrew, how you doing? Hey, good to see you, brother. And I was over the entirety of everything that was blow molded and injected molded in the factory, and that's everything but the assembly. So I was over all of that. And the company had, I'm just going to say 7 or 8 branches across the United States, Mexico, China, just everywhere. They had these. Well, when companies get so large, they start bringing in firms that are going to they're going to show you where your shortcomings, and they're going to help you save money, and they're going to do these great things for the company. Because what happens is you have people that sit on the board. These people that sit on the board and they get paid based on the percentage of profits the company makes. They decide that they want a bigger bonus at the end of the year, so they're going to get more of a profit at the end of the year, which means they have to start squeezing pennies in every direction that they can. In Funko's case, they're just bleeding to death. So they're trying to save money. Their pops are getting smaller, but that doesn't really change the mold time a whole lot. It was a dumb way of pinching pennies. So in my Deadpool was the first one I noticed this on, the GameStop exclusive Deadpool box that they just did. And maybe I'll do a video on this coming up here soon. If you take the 4-pack, the 4 that I got out of those boxes and put them against my other Deadpools, they are significantly smaller. Like you can see that they are significantly smaller than the other 400 Deadpools that I have. So it's not like there was a flaw. Sometimes if you take stuff out and it's too hot of the mold, it'll shrink down some, not on purpose, just kind of happens. But this is what you see when you have somebody that's trying to show them how to pinch pennies, is that they start going in the dumbest routes. This didn't change the cost of their plastic a whole lot. This did not change the production time by enough to matter. It didn't really do anything other than make their product worth less money to the eye of the beholder, or like the eye of myself. Because when I put 2 Deadpools side by side now, I have one of them that's this big and one that's this big, yet they both cost this one actually costs more money. they didn't even cost the same amount of money, and Funko is really messing up with that right now. I think that they shouldn't have decided to start making things different while they were already hurting.
Well, you know what, this would have looked good. I mean, I'm just looking at a perspective wise, and I know they really don't make them anymore, but this would look awesome as a 10-inch.
Yeah, no, that would be great. But the problem is they wouldn't make it as a 10-inch. So they would do the same thing with this they did with the Deadpool Squirrel. So the Deadpool Squirrel is just a touch bigger than a deluxe pop. It's probably only 7 inches tall, but they called it a 10-inch. They would do the same thing with this. They'd put it in that box. It would have 8 inches above it to where it. So you're right though. If they would have done this in the 10-inch, it would have been
awesome.
spectacular. It just would have been amazing if they would have done that in the 10-inch. I would have been with it. Funko does have some new pops that are coming out though, but I still think that we're gonna have to get into a conversation that might sound negative, but I promise you I'm not trying to be negative. I don't really care what Funko does right now. It's a lot of the things they're doing isn't really for me. But I know Chase is going to be into this one. Have you seen the new Slipknot pops that are popping?
No, this is the first time I'm seeing them.
I think this is the first time they've ever made Slipknot pops. I hope somebody over there tells me.
I have seen some other Slipknot pops, like before they did their last album when they, I think I remember seeing a Corey Taylor one at one point, if I'm not mistaken. I think
they've done them before.
I think they've done a couple, not a lot.
God, I didn't know that they ever did.
Chase would probably know better than I would.
Chase is going to know this. He's a hardcore like metal fan, but if they've come out with them, or even if they haven't at this point, everything Slipknot is super collectible in the rock field. This is going to be hitting a different kind of collector that we don't normally see Funko hit. I think, in my opinion. This is going to reach out a little bit further than what they normally do. Hot Topic might be the place for this one, but Hot Topic also might not be. I mean, everything Hot Topic here lately has kind of been way overproduced like everything else. So yeah. I say that Hot Topic is the place for this one, but maybe it's not. We'll just have to wait and see. But this one's going to be pretty cool. If you haven't seen that one, you should definitely keep your eyes out on that one. I guess we have some other ones over here as well. Check these guys out. Look, I'm not a huge
Chase said second wave for sure.
I'm not a huge Slipknot fan by any means. I've never been really into that. I don't really understand wearing the mask, I guess has been my problem.
I think I've been a Slipknot fan.
Zach, what's up, brother?
Since they first came out. I remember.
Really?
I remember I went to, I'd like to say it was an Ozfest or something back in the day, and nobody really even knew about them. And in fact, they were on a second stage out of the normal arena, and I remember watching this, and they just went bananas, and it was cool as hell. The mask is just their stage persona type of thing, and I think at the time it was something different, and I think that kind of just kept going. It's kind of like what Hollywood Undead did for some time way afterwards, but then they stopped doing the masks. I've always been into them. In fact, sometimes I have a tendency to, and Chase may understand this because he may know the album, but when I get really pissed off, especially at work or something, dude, my go-to is just playing the Iowa album from Slipknot. I mean, to me, I think it was one of their heaviest, rawest albums they ever made. But I still listen to the original one, hardcore. I'm still a fan, and I mean, I'm a fan of all kinds of music, but yeah, I'm still a fan of Slipknot for sure.
So I guess this is one of them that I never really understood. I never really understood the whole mask wearing thing. I know that Ghost did really well with that as well. Slipknot did really well with that. I know there's a lot of bands that do really well with the whole wearing the mask. I don't really understand it, so I tend to stay away from it. To me, it's kind of weird. It almost gets into some weird BDSM stuff with me. But look, to each their own. I listen to some pretty heavy metal too, so to each their own.
But sometimes it's just, I've seen them live with the masks and stuff like that, and it's really cool. But like I said, sometimes to me it's just about the music.
This is one of those moments where I wish I had some kind of thing in the background I could hit and be like, dun, dun, dun,
I believe this is actually being sold in Disney World right now too.
This is at Entertainment Earth. You can go to Entertainment Earth and grab this guy. I want it.
I don't think it's an exclusive from them.
It's not. You can get it on Entertainment Earth right now. I want this. I think I want all of them though. I have some weird obsession for the helmets. At some point, I'm gonna start getting into my weird obsession with the helmets and just take everybody along the trip with me. How you doing, brothers? Good to see you. Good to see you. That's a really cool helmet. I don't think that you're into the helmets, but it's a really cool helmet. Just thought I would pop it up there and we could talk about it.
Yeah, that one's, like I said, there's only been one helmet I've ever run into in the parks that I was really, really close to buying. And that was the Mandalorian helmet, but it was like, I think it was like $150 or something like that. I was like, I'm just not quite sure just yet.
You've almost bought Mando and you didn't?
I didn't end up buying it.
What is wrong with you?
There are a lot of things.
So check this out. So I was gonna kind of wait until later in the show to talk about this, but Chase was talking about hit the ramp. I have a question for everybody. Where's the Funko Fair?
Non-existent. I don't
Where's
think they're
Funko?
doing
Where's Funko Fair news? Where's the Funko Fair announcement that it's coming? Do you know what time we had Funko Fair last year?
In January.
It was January the 18th was the first day of Funko Fair last year.
Well, that isn't the when's the Toy Fair?
Well, the Toy Fair is just before that, so they or it's at the same time. So Funko quit doing the Toy Fair and started doing the Funko Fair. I don't know if like they got uninvited to the Toy Fair. I'm not sure what happened, but Funko did this strange like retaliation where they started doing the Funko Fair instead of actually going to the New York Toy Fair. So it's there had to have been some kind of falling out that happened because Funko did the Toy Fair for many years, and I always enjoyed watching people that went to the New York Toy Fair because it wasn't just about Funko.
Yeah,
it was
a lot
all
of really
the toys.
Cool things you could see.
Yeah, it was lots of really cool things, and Funko was just really a part of that cool things. So this is the second day of last year, which was released January 25th. This is the second day. The first day was released, and I'll scroll back up to it real quick. It was released on January the 8th. So the 18th was the first day. I guess that we're not going to get any pictures of the first day, and then they just kind of go from there. You get the second day, third day, fourth day. You get the idea, right? But they've always built some kind of hype. They've always like did some kind of suspense. They've always done some kind of little leaks. You know how they do with the Fun Maker Mike, which is super annoying for some reason. I just can't stand the guy. I don't know why, but I can't. I guess I got my own reasons behind it, but Fun Maker Mike normally like plays this to no end, and we just have not seen anything.
No, I remember. I think it might have been 2020.
This is very well possible OTT with G, but I think that walking away from that Toy Fair was a mistake. But it's just my personal opinion. I'm not in their business, so they had to make the smartest decision for them.
I'd like to say I think it was 2022 that they even had a big old long thing where it was like every day, and they had a video where they were up there.
They do that every year
and stuff like that. But yeah,
every year.
But I think we've talked about that. That I don't think we're going to see them doing a lot of this stuff, a lot of these big drops anymore. I don't see it to be happening at all anymore. To be honest with you,
So let me tell you why that doesn't make sense to me, right? So even when Funko, let's go back to 2019. Let's go like before COVID. 2019, I felt like Funko had a pretty decent year. They weren't Hasbro. They weren't trying to be Super Plastics, or they weren't trying to be the next Sideshow. They were Funko, right? They were Funko, and Funko was doing Funko. And I think that was a very successful brand that they had going on, right? I mean, because I'm still a Funko fan, but I felt like that was a very successful pattern they had going on. And then they kept getting larger, and they kept getting dumber, and then they kept getting larger. And now we're at the point where we don't think they're going to do a Funko Fair. I mean, because they haven't announced it. The last announcement they made was basically in December.
I think if they haven't talked about it by now, they're not going to talk about it at all.
Does that make any sense? I mean, can you make sense of that?
No. It definitely stems to whatever major changes are going on with the company, because you have a platform that everybody's kind of looked forward to, and got to be a platform that you've got to be able to dump out a bunch of pops and make a lot of sales. And I mean, that's like your Black Friday type thing that's got to be able to drop. But maybe they're feeling, well, we can't sell out anything anyways, so you know, that we're not pulling the crowds we used to. So maybe it's just not worth it. I mean, it's not even worth it for them to do a product dump.
Do we think Funko survives
Yeah. I
if
think
they
the fact that you don't see a fun fair and you're not really seeing anything up to date or anything new, I definitely. I mean, I wasn't 100% on board with, you know, talk about the end of them, but I think more and more huge signs like this. I think after and to be honest with you, I think there's a lot of people, and again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but if that's what we want to call them, that's what we'll call them. I think a lot of it has to do with particularly YouTubers out there. I mean, you think about it, the last big hyped item that Funko had, I mean, I wouldn't even call the whatever rock box they have was even all that big, but the last big one they had was that box of fun. They went to the convention, they did that. I believe Candyman was even there. And you just had nothing but, you know, YouTubers, and I can see why maybe they don't use people as much, because sure, you have a big thing, some things got screwed up, and it happens. But I think there's particular people that had overhyped it and made it worse than it was, just by, to be honest with you, them just being big friggin' babies about it. And I think that's really where it came down to. So, you know, for them, I mean, if you know, they're just gonna get nothing but crap about it and go from there, then I mean, guess why do it? I mean, they're not at that point, they're not really getting help from the Funko community. I really don't see Top Pops doing a whole lot of Funko videos. I mean, not Funko videos, but Funko sponsored type of videos as much anymore. Um, so I mean, I don't know where they're going. I mean, really, if they want to revive themselves, then they would try to get themselves into good standings with the Funko community and let the Funko community re-promote them. But right now, there's nothing there. There's no contact. There's no um, reaching the hand out. There's no nothing. So either they're getting ready for just a full rebuild if they're going to do that, or they're just seeing the signs on the wall.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I know that they still have a lawsuit that's like dooming over them. If they can get through this lawsuit without having to pay back millions that they've already had to do once, if they can get through this one without being totally wasted, I think that they'll be okay. But I'm not sure that that's going to be the case, because there's going to be a lot of like reasons why they owe people millions of dollars. So I don't know that that's going to be the case. I don't necessarily know that I share with you that it was the YouTubers who did it. I think that we've had some bad actors in the community that haven't necessarily helped the promotion of Funko. They thought they were, but they it wasn't really the help that the company needed.
They were clout chasing, and unfortunately,
Yes, that's what they thought they were, though. They
this is
thought
the
they were
exact
helping.
reason why, to be honest with you, I stopped doing Disney news, because sure, there's times like right now, there's a lot of good deals and stuff like that. There's got a lot of good positivity of things going on, but I don't like just focusing on the negative. And unfortunately,
Right.
there's a lot of people within type of, you know, realms like that just focus on that type of negativity,
What's because
and
it
I don't
sells.
like it. Yeah,
It's because it sells. It's one of those crazy things. So I was listening to somebody not too long ago, and they were talking about how negative stuff sells, and you can prove it based on news, right? So there used to be a time, and I know everybody here, because we're all about the same age, we can remember this and relate to this. There was a time where news came only for an hour a day. You got a news for 1 hour a day. That was all you got, and that was normally your local news, and maybe you got another 30 minutes of Fox, or the world, the national news, or however you want to say it, not local news. Now they run it 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, nonstop negative news, because it sells, right? And people, for some reason, want to believe that their life is not as bad as as it is, because you can look at all of this negative stuff and be like, well, my life's not that bad, right? So there's people get some kind of enjoyment out of the negativity in life, and I've never really fully understood it, but I do understand the fact that it really does sell. It really does sell. If you want to make a video and you want the video to get some views, you put a very negative comment in there, a very negative title, a very negative thumbnail, and then it won't matter what your video is from that point forward. You're going to get at least 100 views. I guarantee you. Look, you can take that as Dwayne, like the advice for the day. If you just want to get a video to get some views, get a really negative thumbnail, a really negative title, and for some reason, it's going to draw people to it. I don't necessarily believe that that was all of it, though. I feel like Funko doesn't utilize their community in the way that they should. Funko focused on Funko focused on one or two people, and they took these one or two people that were going to be super positive about their product to the point of detriment. You can't be so positive about something that you start to not look at the flaws anymore. I can't be so positive about something that its arm fell off when I took it out of the box, and I'm like, hey, that's okay. I'll just glue it on. No, that's not okay. I just took it out of the box. What do you mean I'll just glue it back on? So the people that they did pick were so positive to the point that they were detriment as well, and they didn't realize it. Funko's marketing team is one of the worst I've ever seen. And I have a degree in marketing, just in case anybody's sitting in the background and they're like, what are you talking? I have a degree in marketing. So their marketing team is one of the worst that I've ever seen. They should have been sending this stuff out to maybe not me and you, because I get it. We're not their brand. We're not their brand. Look, we know that, right? I mean, we're not stupid. We know we're not their brand, but they could have been sending boxes out to all kinds of people. And if you sent out 50 boxes, that's cheaper than running a commercial. I mean, that's a fraction of the price that if you ran a production studio.
You think about this.
I mean, what's up, brother?
And I know I've used this as a comparison many times, but this is a company using their YouTubers to the advantage. Let's look at the last Disney cruise ship that released, Disney Wish. I think it came out in 2022. The very first sailing, before the actual inaugural sailing, which is when the first paid guests were joining on, they had one sailing just before that, the week before that. And that entire boat was invitation only.
Right.
And I'm sure there was a few media, normal media, but majority of that boat, if you go back and watch old YouTubes from, Paging Mr. Morrow, Kyle Paleo, Tim Tracker, they were all on that boat. Right. And that was all YouTubers pretty much that were on that boat. And they didn't pay for the cruise, but, you basically take 1 week out of a cruise that's really expensive, put a bunch of YouTubers on to hype the shit out of it.
That's right.
And guess what's going to happen? You're going to get a lot more sales.
Think about the things Funko could have done that they have not done. When they were taking that trip around the United States, spending money, driving that bus, right, from the East Coast back to the West Coast to for whatever reason, I thought it was a cool idea. I think they failed at it, but I thought it was a cool idea. I think it was poorly played out. I think they could have done it way better. But anyways, what if they would have taken it, drove it to an undisclosed location, got 50 of the biggest channels that are into Funko and had them come up there and just played games? That trip from that point forward would have been the hottest thing Funko did that year. But Funko, for some reason, has this belief that they can just shit on their content creators, and that's okay. I mean, and it's not okay, and they don't utilize it properly. People that are putting out free,
whoever was running that department or marketing department or whatnot, either they were too old that they didn't understand the technology and the ability that you have in front of you, but somebody dropped the ball and somebody screwed up, and then at that same time, you want to start picking fights with your community people. Doesn't really seem to be a good.
I mean, instead they tried to make Hollywood production Blues Clues style videos. I mean, do you remember that? We had the twins, man. We laughed at these. We laughed at them all the time. Check this out, though. I know Chase is going to like this one. Chase is going to like this one. I've been saving this one for a hot second, just kind of looking at it sitting there. This is going to be another one that I'm going to say is a Hot Topic exclusive. It doesn't say that it's a Hot Topic exclusive, but it should have been a Hot Topic exclusive. And that's the place that this one would have shined, is at a Hot Topic exclusive. I know this is one of them that Chase is going to be getting his hands on. This is what I'm going to say. So I recently gave away my, I think they call this guy Papa something. I recently gave mine away to a young lady that's super into him. I had her crying for an hour. The stupid thing was like $100. It done went up from like the $15 I got it at Hot Topic to $100. I couldn't believe that it went up. Everything Ghost is gold. I don't understand it, but if you're wanting to add, and I say this all the time on my videos, if you're just wanting to add value to your collection, there you go. You buy the Papa, whatever his name is, and I promise you that in a year from now, you won't be able to get your hands on this guy for under $100. I don't understand it. I don't have to understand it, though. I know that they have a cult-like following. It probably is a cult, for being honest, though.
But I think also Funko does different things for different people. Whereas, you gave this away to somebody. And to be honest with you, like, if I had something in my collection that I knew somebody really wanted, unless it's an absolute one that I'm just not letting go, which everybody has a few of those in their collection, I'll give something away. I don't even know what the value is of half of my items. And I don't really even check, and I don't care, because I kind of just go after what I like. But I'm also not, except for like probably a handful, I'm not overly really attached, so if you can make a person's day by doing that, I mean, I think that's huge.
Oh, I probably made her whole year.
Yeah.
I didn't. I gave zero shits. She was into him. She was in love with it. I actually looked up the price while I was handing it to her, because I was like, well, I just wonder where it's at. So I put it in a hard stack after I handed it to her. I was like, you might want to keep it in this hard stack. Everything Ghost is gold. So if you're looking for one of these guys, I guess this one's going to be a comment. I really wish that it wasn't, because that's not going to help out like the price of it at all. Have you seen, man, I got something to show you, because I know that you get into this weird stuff like I do. Have you seen that they're starting to make jerseys for TV shows?
Yes.
Why would that ever seem like a good idea?
Why did not somebody do it earlier? I mean, maybe we're thinking two different things, but no, this is kind of the same idea I'm thinking. What it is it started with the retro people.
Again, what do you mean?
It started with the kids the 90s kids and even the early 2000s kids that were really into like their original stuff. And you grab a connection. Let's say I know Zach Bonifer does it. It's in his picture, and I want one, and I will still buy one. Do I want a Polk High number 33 Al Bundy jersey? Yes, I do. Do I want a, you go after your old go after any old movie or something that has a jersey or has a shirt and that's classic to it, and you're like, why has nobody thought of doing this before? It's absolutely fantastic, and I am 100% for it. This is from Ted Lasso. I love that show. I would consider buying this, and I don't watch soccer.
So let me tell you how the funny part to this is. I looked at this, and I knew everyone was going to agree with me. Everyone was going to be like, are you serious? They made a TV show jersey. Everybody has just roasted me in the comments in 22 seconds flat.
Like the water boy jersey from the water boy. That is fantastic. I mean, you can go on and on. Space Jam, they've done the jerseys for that one. I mean, like I said, you can go on and on with these, and it's I asked, why the hell didn't we think about this before?
I guess I just thought, man, maybe I'm living on another planet, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I see that some of these I would go after, right? So maybe the water boy, I could see me getting one of those, because I'd walk around and tell everybody my mama said. Mama said. That would be my line for the day.
How about a Falco jersey from the replacements? I'd be all over that.
That would probably be a pretty cool one too. But I wouldn't believe that there would be a big market for these. But I stand corrected. There would be a
You
huge
want to know
market for these.
how much there's a market for it? There's another company, and I've
Nike is
probably
currently doing these.
begged to. I probably step back, but they do a lot of Disney ones. And there's one that I really want. That's a Powerline jersey. Of course, everyone knows I'm a big Goofy movie fan, and it's a Powerline jersey. They have it in 2 different colors, and you can put whatever you want on the back. Put whatever name, number, whatever you want, stuff like that. And they sell out all the time. And they do it mainly for Disney. But when you're talking TV show, I mean, how about Conway from the Mighty Ducks, the original green jersey? That's another one.
Look, I stand corrected. There'd be a huge market for these guys. Huge market. I can't even believe it. I still can't believe it.
For you, being that I know you're a fan, wouldn't you want a Griswold Blackhawks jersey that he wears in the movie?
I'd take it all day. All day I'd take it.
I'm telling you.
All day I would take it. So look, I guess there's other ways to look at it. I guess that this is not that bad. I'm not getting a Ted Lasso's jersey.
I would consider getting the Ted Lasso, especially that jersey right there. Yeah, I get it.
It's never happening. I've never watched it. Adidas made Mighty Ducks. I did not know that. It looks like I'm just behind the bar on a lot of these things. He has the Griswold jersey. Sure you do, Andrew. You have everything. You have everything, Andrew.
Well, yeah, that one I expected. You get the Boston Happy Gilmore jersey.
I expected that. I expected nothing less from Andrew. Andrew has a larger shoe collection than me. He probably has a larger clothing collection than me. One of these days, me and Andrew are going to have to hook up.
But does he have this one?
One of these days, we're going to have to hook up, and I'm just going to have to find out how much alike we really are. One of these days, it's going to have to happen.
Look at that Griswold jersey.
Of course he has the Griswold jersey. The Griswold jersey's on his bucket list. That is, I would have never thought. I would have never thought in a bazillion years to even look into these guys.
Yeah.
Never in a bazillion years would I have been like, hey, you know what? I think I need the Griswold jersey. That would have never come across at 0 point in my life would that would have come across.
Yeah, it is. I think it's fantastic, and I do think when I first started seeing them, I'm like, huh. Why did nobody think about doing that a long freaking time ago?
Well, I guess that there was a lot of people like me, probably. They were like, man, that's never going to go anywhere. and then I guess it did.
Yeah.
I guess it did. He said, nope, he doesn't have that one. So check this out. I don't know if y'all know this, but seeing how I'm still on to the Funko news, they have announced that they're going to be making 6 new Pokemon pops coming up here soon. I don't know if that means that they're going to be new characters or if they're going to be remade characters in a different way. I don't know exactly what that meant, but I know that they've announced that they're going to be doing it. They didn't announce which ones it is. It kind of feels to me like they're not doing a Funko Fair. So instead of doing a Funko Fair, they're just going to kind of announce strange things that they're doing, which they didn't really announce this one. I think Pokemon announced this one. Which seems,
I mean, I think that is still a shame. I think they should have done something.
It's still not too late. We still might see a Funko Fair. I mean, let's be honest. It's still not too late. We still might see a Funko Fair, but I don't think that we're seeing one right now. Right this time last year, we would have already started getting leaks about it. They would have already started building the hype. They would have already started getting the little teasers out there that it's coming. We would have already seen the blogs. They haven't had an updated blog in 6 months. So there's things that we would have already seen that we're not seeing. And so it tells me that we're probably not going to have one.
This must be the Squid Games.
How about the worst Funko NFT of all times over? Whoa. Which one was that?
It must be this. It got to be the Squid Games. That was the last one that dropped.
I think that all of their NFT drops lately have just been trash, with the exception of the ones they give away. I mean, there's a couple of content creators out there that get the same amount of packs every time, that get them some nice pulls every time, that even admitted that they're getting them for free, which I think is just garbage. I mean, don't promote something that you wouldn't buy yourself. That's just how I feel about that. Squid Games. Oh, yeah. That's pretty rough. I mean, they've all been kind of rough to me. I mean, I don't really know like how much money they have in them. That's kind of the problem. Is I have to ask myself how much money they have in them versus how much are they making. I would imagine that they have very little money in them, so they're making lots back out of them. So maybe they're not fails. They just really seem like it. Oh, they need to learn how to ship them. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Shipping issues are always a common
Yeah,
problem.
that happens a lot. We would think now that they've been out, they've been kind of popular for a while that everybody would have figured it out by now, but not yet. If you know what six pops it is that they're going to be coming out with the Pokemon, how about throw them over in the comments? I tried to find which ones it were, but I couldn't really like get a point anywhere. But if you know, how about like throw it over there? Throw it over there for me. I got something that I want to go over. This will be interesting. Check this out. You're going to like this.
Sure.
Strange things that you can buy online. Have you ever just wondered, because I've been having a lot of fun with this lately.
Well, we're going back to the body suit
I don't
with the
I
baby face.
we might be before we do that, check this out. Did you now know that you can buy vehicles on Amazon?
No.
Hyundai is going to be selling vehicles on Amazon starting this year. Look, I had this on there.
Name is that going to work?
I had this on there last year, but I not last year, last week, but I forgot to talk about it. Hyundai and Amazon have made a deal that Hyundais are going to be sold through Amazon. The sales will go through Amazon, but the local dealerships will be the people who will be supplying the vehicle. So let's say that I go on Amazon and I buy this green truck right here. Whatever dealership local to me has this one is where I will pick the vehicle up from. I think there's a lot of people that are missing something though, because this is really good for Amazon. This is probably going to be phenomenal for Hyundai. This is going to start something new where Amazon is selling a bunch of vehicles, but this cuts out the salesman. I don't know if anybody like noticed that.
And I'm not sad by that by any means. Now, do I think there's a lot of questions and a lot of things to be had? You're talking financing, you're talking a lot of aspects of buying a car that I don't know how they're going to work it out, but which I'm very inquisitive and kind of want to know, because yes, you are right. This could, if done correctly, this could be a game changer. This could be an absolute game changer. Because if you've ever bought a brand new vehicle and you think, I'm just going to go out, we're going to take a look, and if we get something, we'll get it. It turns into an all-day event situation. You're there all day. You spend 8 hours. You got to first, and that the haggling and the test drive. Well, that's just a very small beginning part. And then you've still got all the finance. And once you get the finance and you come to an agreement and everyone's okay, then you got to go to the next guy. And then when the next guy is done, then you got to wait for the car because I had to take it back to get it washed, blah, 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 blah. And it's an all day, like almost 8 hour type of event.
Yeah.
And half the time there's a lot of people that don't even like going to car lots because they don't like dealing with salesmen. Salesmen are untruthful in a lot of aspects. They're sneaky and they want to just make a sale. And I'm sure that yes, in some aspects, maybe there's people out there that are car salesmen or no car salesmen or something like that. And like I said, if this is done right and it becomes successful, and you start seeing more car manufacturers jumping onto this type of realm, yes, is it going to take away jobs? It sure will.
It is going to shut down companies. So it will all but shut down places like not Carfax. What's the place?
Keep going.
What's the place that put them in the elevators? What was that?
Oh, the car vending machines.
Carvana. Yeah, so this will just about do away with places like Carvana.
Yeah, but Carvana is kind of all online too.
Yes,
to a certain extent, because they'll actually come and drop off the car at your house.
Yes, this will be very detrimental to those kind of people. Amazon's being very sneaky about it right now. So you have to remember the United States, they still got this thing called a monopoly, right? If they went after all of the car manufacturers at one time, Ford has already announced that they're going all online. They did this last year. They announced that they're going to be doing away with all of their dealerships and that everything will be sold directly through Ford themselves because they were very disappointed at the way dealerships were marking prices up, and they felt like there was a lot of underhanded stuff that was going on that they were trying to pull the reins back on. Funko was very careful, not Funko. Amazon's been very careful on what they're doing. If they got too many of the car manufacturers at one time, the government would come in because you know that they're already trying to come in on places like they're trying to come in on Elon, they're trying to come in Jeff Bezos and a few other ways. You know that they would come in and say that you're trying to monopolize the system, and then it would become a dismantlement of Amazon. So they're being very careful in the way that they're doing it. They went after Hyundai. Next, you'll see them go after Ford, and then 6 months from now, they'll probably go after another company, and then 6 months from now, before you know it, there'll be a lot of them on Amazon. But right now, they're playing it smart, and that's what they should do. They're playing it very safe right now. I got to give my hats off to Amazon for what they're doing. This will be a game changer for a lot of things. Unfortunately, it will do away with some jobs, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, man. Everybody's job is replaceable,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So at the end of the day, look, it's you have to evolve with times, right? You no longer. There used to be a time that in bread manufacturers there was a guy who sat at the end of the assembly line, and the bread came to him in bags, and then he took those little twisties, right, and he twisted those things onto the bag, those little metal twists, and he says, "Oh, they're never going to replace my job." And what did the bakeries do? They brought in these little robots that would twist the bags for them. You
Mhm.
have to stay evolving, or you're going to get left behind. So I'm all for it. I say that they should drive forward. I see that Simon threw like he said most likely this is going to be them. You're going to have to say these names. I can never say Pokemon names.
I can't say
I
Pokemon.
can never say Pokemon names. I don't know why they had to make them so difficult. I hate the fact that they made them so difficult, but there they are if you want to like read them. I don't have a clue. I have zero clue what they're going to be coming out with. I do know that I had a pop that was on my top list this month that was number one, that I told everybody that at the beginning of the month that if Funko made it a deluxe pop, that it didn't need to be on my list at all. And lo and behold, Funko made it a deluxe pop, so it should not be on my number one, but it is going to be
Mini puffs are always cool.
right. But it's in the deluxe version, so it's in the deluxe pop. Here's the problem that I see with this: the original box that was leaked, which is not this one, shows that being half that size. So it was another it was another Sword in the Stones. You remember the Sword in the Stones back from
Yes,
the
there was a big
twenty
box,
twenty
small,
two
small
New York
pop.
convention? Was that?
There's a big box, small pop.
Right. So they took a normal size pop and they put it in the deluxe box and then charged $30 for it. This one in the original leaks, they modified this picture. That guy right there is half that size. And I bet when it comes to you from your pre-order, it's going to be half that size.
Yeah,
They
I agree.
modified the picture to where, and I said in my list that I had seen multiple different pictures of that I had seen pictures that looked like it was a standard pop. I had seen pictures that looked like it was a deluxe pop. And if it was a deluxe pop, that it shouldn't have been on my list.
Yeah,
Well, lo and behold, it's a deluxe pop and it shouldn't have been on my list. So for everybody that's here, I said it out loud. I was wrong. It should not have been on there. If it would have been in a normal size box, it would have been cool. I probably have 12 of these mini puffs. Some of you guys actually sent me like the Baskin Robbins and one of the Target exclusives that I couldn't find. I mean, so I'm super into the mini puffs, but this is not the one that I'm into. Not in the $30 realm. I'm not into.
no, I think that should be at least more in the $25 realm. To be honest with you, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I even think they like started gouging you in like the price of deluxe pops because there was a time that it was 25. There's a lot of cool like Ghostbuster stuff coming out. There's some kind of a leak in the Ghostbuster stuff that came out. I don't necessarily know what it was. So one of these guys is leaked, whether it's this one or it's this one. I don't know which one it is, but one of these is actually a leak in the Ghostbuster community, is a new villain. I don't have a clue.
No idea. I know it's off the new. They got a new movie coming out and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So one of these guys is actually like a leak before the show. So you'll whichever one it is, you'll know that it's bigger.
What
Apparently,
did
it's
she
bigger
talk
than
about? Who are you calling the trash man?
the
I'm
trash man.
confused. I don't
What do you-
remember saying anything like that.
Who's the trash man?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
Who are you going to call the trash man? Yeah, or the box, basically. Who are you gonna call? The trash man. They do have car vending machines. Yes, they do have car vending machines. Why not? So, anyways, this is all of the list.
Well, the characters, if you go back down
Yeah.
for those Ghostbusters, so that's the girl from the latest movies. Groberson, and that's the hell is his name? The guy that plays Ant-Man, I can't remember his real name. For some reason it's out of my head, but he's that's his character, and of course Ray Stantz, that is Dan Aykroyd's character.
So right. I just
Dan Aykroyd is definitely in the new movie, although I think he's the one that actually wrote it.
Well, I mean, there is some like controversy going around in the Ghostbuster community. I didn't make that up. That some of this stuff is leaked. I don't know what it is because I'm just not that hardcore of a Ghostbuster fan. But there is some leaks here. So whether that actor is a leak, I mean, there is some leaks that you're looking at here. So I don't know what they are. But there's 100%. Chase has been a member for 33 months. Chase, we truly appreciate you, brother. That almost needs a superhero landing.
Superhero landing?
I
Sure.
think
We haven't done superhero landing for the longest time.
I know. It needs one.
Let's do it.
There super chat. So there is a picture that I'm going to bring up that our good friend from Canada sent me here not too long ago, which is one of them that you haven't really like seen, but here I have to get this one pulled down and pulled back up. So there is like something out there that he told me that this one was going to be super hot, so I'm just going to have to believe that it's going to be super hot. Is going to be, I don't really know how to say this. It's Sun something, Sun Goku. Yeah, from Naruto. So this is a 10-inch pop. It looks like it's going to be a Funko Hollywood exclusive or a Funko something. So he sent me a picture of this one. This would have come from Johnny Funko, or it's not Johnny. It's Johnny Knight now. This one would have come from Johnny Knight. He sent me this image. Look, this is really cool. It's a 10-inch. I wouldn't be getting my hands on it. I'm sure that it's sold out somewhere, wherever it was. It says it's a special edition Funko. That doesn't really say a whole lot. I mean, that means it could be a Hot Topic exclusive. It could be a GameStop exclusive, and they just put their own sticker on there. Is all that means. I don't know if this is a leak or where it's coming from, but I do know that that one supposedly is supposed to be pretty hot. So if you've missed that one, make sure you go get your hands on it. And there is one of them that I got to pull up this list again because I'm going to get off this list and I want to get this 25 list in because I seen this earlier and I thought, man, so it's 25 strangest things you can buy online. The strange things that you can buy online. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Because there's no like there's no like the suits that's going to be on there this time. So I guess is you can buy human skulls. Huh? I guess I didn't know.
There's something wrong with that.
You can buy real life human skulls. Hey, I mean, so if you've ever just wanted to, I guess I don't really know about that one. I think I'd avoid that.
That's just inviting bad juju.
You can buy tanks. Did anyone know that you could buy tanks online? I guess I
know
didn't
you
know.
Can go drive them. There's a place out here you can go drive them.
Well, you can buy them. Apparently, you can just buy you a tank. I would have never known that you can buy
a
tank.
Food for thought. They're not street legal.
You can own your very own haunted rubber duck, sold on eBay.
Now,
the power of a possessed child. Wow.
I don't know how you rubber ducks are connected. I know that, and I've got a very bad problem with them, is dolls. There's certain my kids have a lot of dolls, but I'm very particular with what the looks are of them and what type of dolls and stuff like that. Like at Disney, there's a whole cart out by American Adventure that sells like them porcelain dolls. No,
Yeah.
no, not allowed in the house.
Did you know that you could buy a haunted duck? You could get you a haunted rubber duck.
Nope.
I think
But again, that's just inviting bad juju.
I think so too. You can get you a zombie survival kit just in case Gerber is selling a zombie survival
I'm
kit.
pretty sure you can go down into Polk County down here in Florida and you can find some redneck that'll make you a zombie survival kit.
Zombie survival. I've always needed one. Oh.
Out. You know, that is a thing, to be honest with you.
What?
It is a thing that for owl vomit. They actually make soup out of these things.
What?
Yes, and trust me, I'm a weird. There's a lot of things I watch that are somewhat weird. Even my wife doesn't understand what I watch. And this was off of a food show, and they went discovering this is a delicacy. And Candyman was still in here. Maybe he'd be able to back me up. But there are restaurants in Asia somewhere. I couldn't tell you where. I'd like to say I think it's like Vietnam or something of that nature. And they actually go out and collect, and you can get artificial ones too. But they basically it's called like they call it like bird nest soup or something like that. But it's actually owl vomit, and they put it into a soup, and it basically dissolves in shit. And it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But people actually eat it.
I think I'm gonna have to pass, guys. That's a pretty weird one. 20. Oh my god.
Is this a dead mouse?
These.
Yeah, no. UFO
$87. You can buy your very own UFO detector. I know that you've always needed.
If you know you're gonna pay $87 for this, I'm sure I've got some snake oil here you can buy.
$87, guys. You can get your very own UFO detector. Let's see.
Why would you want radioactive substance?
Oh, you can buy uranium. Put you right on the FBI watch list for sure.
Hey, we need that for Back to the Future.
Yeah. Number 17 is going to be liver. All right. So you can buy a liver.
It's like black market stuff, right?
No, this is all like legitimate stuff that you can get on there and buy. Number 16 is gonna be
Justin's half-eaten toast. Justin, we're talking about Justin Timberlake.
We're talking about just.
It sounds like a Taylor Swift-esque style guru fan that's gonna like buy her half-eaten apple core or something like that.
How do you know that it's his though?
You don't.
How do you? And then how does it matter?
It would be moldy at some point, and why would you want a moldy piece of?
We're some weird people. I don't know if y'all know that. We're a weird society. Deer Buster wolf urine? What? Scare off unwanted critters. Wow. So you can buy some wolf urine. You could scare off your unwanted critters. Did Johnny Knight make it in here? Johnny Knight did make it in here. His ears must have been burning a little bit. Let's see what else you can get. I'm gonna skip past this one just because it sounds messed up.
Yeah.
Number 13.
It seems like it's black. It's like dark web.
You can buy an island. I already knew that because
I've heard because there's lots of islands in the Caribbean and stuff.
You can buy a Cheeto for $100,000 that looks like a gorilla.
Harambe.
Looks like a gorilla. $100,000. Get a Cheeto that looks like a. Hey, are we being serious? Did someone actually buy this? Can someone look up if that thing actually sold? We're not being serious, right? 100. I'm gonna go buy Cheeto bags now.
I think I'm gonna lose brain cells just looking something this stupid.
1,000, and I'm just gonna start looking for figures in these Cheetos. 100. $1,000 for a Cheeto. I need somebody to fact check that
Kind
one.
of looks like a chicken wing, actually.
I need some fact checks on that one.
Like a dead turkey.
That stupid thing didn't sell. Let's see what else we have.
An imaginary friend.
What?
I feel like these people are just making this shit up now.
Number 10 is going to be for $32. You can get a picture of the moon.
No.
What?
Acre in the Sea of Tranquility.
Oh, you can buy an acre.
You can buy 1 acre in the Sea of Tranquility.
Oh.
Can be bought for $32 to the New York base.
Hey, for $32, I will sell you some oceanfront property in Idaho. You just hit me up after the show, hit me up in the DMs on my Instagram, and for $32, I will sell you some oceanfront property in Idaho. I got you. Doubt the payment went through. That's right. Payment didn't go through for that one. Yeah, payment didn't go through. Oceanfront property in Idaho. Let's see. We can get us some
5 pounds of artificial fat.
Stupid. Number 8.
No.
Oh man, I'm gonna get your daughter these.
No, they're too old for that.
Dude, they need these, man.
I think you got a little one still over there.
Get some crochet wigs. Get some crochet wigs going on.
You can have your own friggin' Annabelle.
It is a twerking gorilla. The gorilla was twerking. Cheeto twerking gorilla. $100,000 twerking gorilla. I've always needed me $100,000 twerking gorilla. What is wrong with people? Something's wrong, man. Let's see. Number 7 is going to be drive-through kit. This kit is associated with a physical drive-through unit for your kickstart your business. What?
Okay, you can buy a trailer with it. And
yeah, to go window in it. Yeah, big deal. Get you a USB pet rock. All you have to do is...
Are there people out there that are actually this stupid?
Cable into the... I can sit back and watch it do nothing. Let's see. Number 5 has got to be getting better from here. Protect your banana with a banana defense guard. Yeah, that's what I've always needed in life. Yeah. Serial killer fingernails. Always wanted me some serial killer fingernails. Why not? Let's see. Join the Millionaire Club and you could get you a private celebrity event. $25, $300. Yep, never going to happen. $20,000. You can buy your kid a commercial battle bot mech from Japan. What is that?
I guess you can have your own Iron Giant.
Yeah, maybe. It looks like it. Looks like that's what you can do. And for number 1, you can get your urine-powered batteries.
No. You may want to wash these first.
Leave it to Japan to invent something like this. So I guess you just like fill it with your own urine, and it's going to cause a reaction.
Just please don't. Don't.
There's no news out there. We're getting desperate. I'm just kidding.
Yay.
So did you have anything that you wanted to go over today?
Not really.
You got anything on your...
So there's a lot of Disney news.
So we really don't have any Funko news out there right now, with the exception of the stuff that we went over today. This month's list was probably one of the hardest lists that I've made in a really long time when it comes to Funko, because there's just not a whole lot out there. Funko's, maybe they're holding in reserve for Funko Fair. I don't think we're seeing a Funko Fair this year, guys. And if we do, I think it's going to be like a last minute, like, oh, here's 5 pops for the Funko Fair. And then they'll bring Funmaker Mike out and that other guy that looks like Funmaker Mike. Who's that guy that's been with him? The kid celebrity that looks like it's the same pop as it. I wish I could think of his name. Look, I'll pull it up real quick before we get out of here. I'll pull it up just because I need a good laugh. So they'll have Funmaker Mike and they'll have this guy come on and they'll do some like show together and they'll tell us like how cool everything is and both of them will look like they need to like go take a nap or something, and they need to quit doing whatever it is that they've been doing for the past 20 years because it has really messed them up. I can't find it. Have they taken it down? They surely haven't taken it down. No way that they took it
Zach,
down.
what are you talking about with Top Pops? Top Pops ain't really done nothing.
What's Top Pops doing?
I don't know.
What was the comment?
I
Because I'm not
kind of
there.
stopped paying attention to Top Pops. They
Yeah,
started annoying me.
I haven't watched Top Pops in a long time.
Not that I have anything bad to say about the guy at all.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of respect for Top Pops. I don't know. A lot of his videos seem to kind of blend together as the same thing.
That wasn't my problem. So a lot of his videos turned into commercials.
Yeah,
Tristan used to do like some fun, cool, spontaneous like things, and then you could tell when he became Funko's spokesmodel because his videos became more commercial than they did like fun and spontaneous, and I can't find it. What I mean is Tristan used to do things like how long will my pop survive in Mountain Dew? What happens if I burn it with a 10,000 degree knife? What he used to do, these like little fun quirky things that you could tell weren't forced videos where him and his brother were just having fun. I think that was his best videos. A year ago, you could tell when the transition happened and he became Funko like paid spokesmodel, and then everything kind of changed. His videos became very like front and center, and we're going to sit at this table and I'm going to show y'all all of these really cool things that they come out with, and I'm going to keep this one tone in my voice the whole time. It came very scripted. That's the best way to put it. His videos became very scripted, and at that point I just kind of like, I didn't lose interest in him. I still have a lot of respect for him. It's not the same Tristan to me. Just not the same Tristan.
Yeah, it definitely, videos did change quite a bit, and I think that's why I kind of pulled off of him. You know, I don't know. I started watching some different stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I still watch some Funko people. I mean, I always comment, but I usually thumbs up stuff at least. But yeah, I just kind of got bored with him, to be honest with you. That was just my thing.
You know, I still have lots of mad love for him. It just, his videos became very they felt very choreographed. they might not have been, but I can't think of the guy. So it's Funmaker Mike, and who's the other kid, the 90s kid star that's been going around with Funmaker Mike? The I can't think of this dude's name. He played on Goonies.
That's creepy if Funmaker Mike's gonna have a kid.
He played on Goonies. What was his kid's name? No, he was in Goonies. He was the
Data.
He's still doing stuff to this
day. Corey Feldman.
He is Corey. Yes. So him and Funmaker Mike are running around doing stuff together right now. I swear to God, they look like they've been on, man, I can't say it out loud, but they look like they've been on the same like hard road together for like the past 15 years. Like they should have laid off like the partying and the late nights 10 years ago.
Well, see, the only thing I think with Funmaker Mike is the guy just annoys the fucking piss out.
You should see him with Corey. It's really bad.
And you know, I remember when that last con that they did, and you just see a lot of people that were there were posting, "Oh, I can't believe I get to meet you." I would have zero interest.
I would have zero. That dude I wouldn't even want him getting close to me.
You know, I would have zero interest. I wouldn't even want that guy touching my stuff.
I would be offended if he signed my pop.
Yeah, I'm right there too. I don't care for the guy at all. I think every time I see anything from him, all I think about is this dude is fake as hell.
Yes, I would be offended. I am not even joking.
It almost seems like even when he was signing people's stuff at that con, you see, it's like you could tell this dude just does not even want to be there.
You know who he reminds me of? You're ready for this? He reminds me of Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's like, but it's so fake, and it's like the dude doesn't even want to be there, but I'm sure he's getting paid good money to be wherever, and it's like, again, you guys are wasting good money on a person that one doesn't care and doesn't want to be there, when you could be, you know, spending a lot more of that money multiple ways during, with other content creators and helping to promote your product. Yeah, the dude's cringy. I don't like him. Nothing about it. And to be honest with you, I would tell the dude to his face that he's cringy as fuck.
I tell him he needs to go take a nap.
Yeah, that too.
You need to go take a nap, brother. I mean, for real. And I wasn't trying to be mean about it, but so him and Corey look like they're twins. They look like they were like raised twins or something. They both look like they haven't slept in 4 years. They made the Corey pop was the exact same head mold as another pop. I mean, the exact. So many people called him out on it. It was the exact same head mold as somebody else's pop. We know that the bodies are all recycled, but we didn't know that the head molds would be recycled between one person to the next. So it's the exact same people pop. It's really, really crazy to me. But that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see those
Chase,
two.
I am not in disagreement with that by any means.
They're gonna start seeing those two. They're gonna start doing lives. They're going to start telling us about the fun fair that's coming. Corey's going to tell us that we have to go buy them. Funmaker Mike's going to do that laugh that he does all the time. And then maybe better yet, maybe they'll bring the twins back.
But here's the thing, though. Chase may very well be onto something with this. And maybe it won't be to Disney. Disney, I don't think really has
no one's buying it. No one's buying it.
But I guarantee you that they may not be doing a fun fair, and I didn't even think about this until right now. They may not be doing a fun fair because they very well could be shopping the company.
No one's buying them. They can shop the company.
Somebody will buy them.
I'll tell you
as long as they get it, pennies on the dollar.
I'll tell you right now, I will wage any pop that I have against any pop that you have that says that they won't sell to anyone because no one will buy it. I've done enough research.
I think somebody will buy it if they get it for a good enough deal.
That it would have to be for free. It would have to be for free. They have so many lawsuits. They have so many lawsuits that are coming down. They're losing so many trademarks. The trademarks they do have are costing them triple of what Hasbro would have went after. So if Hasbro would have went after,
Hasbro wouldn't attempt to buy them.
Not even on a good day, because it would cost them exponentially more money for the trademarks that they already have once they go into this agreement with Funko than if they just stayed away.
Yeah, but if Hasbro already has similar agreements in place, even if they buy over the entity of Funko and buy over the ability to sell and produce the style of Funko Pops, they would just rework their licensing, and if they liquidate them into the Hasbro brand, then technically their lawsuits would still stay with the entity of Funko. But if it dissolves into that, then
let me tell you what companies are going to do. You ready for this? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The patents will run out at Funko. When the patents run out at Funko, that will be the last year of Funko, because Hasbro, all of these companies will start making a bobblehead that's competitive to Funko. The difference is they'll do it right. They'll do real limited editions. They won't have the same boxes go. So right now Funko ships the same box to China that they have right here. But they could change that. They could change all of that, and they could put the box in all Mandarin. If they change the box to all Mandarin, then suddenly it'd be a different entity. Everyone could agree with that, right? It would suddenly be a different item, but they don't. And I'm telling you, watch what I tell you. I've thought about it and I've researched it. There's not a company in the United States that would touch them without it being free.
You got to think about it too. There's something going on, whether they're attempting even to at least bid suitors or try to get suitors. But look at what we were even saying before with. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit with the animal one and minimizing the size of these pops. But look at what they've even put up on their coming soon for so long. Over the past year, they've been whoring out Funko sodas.
Yes.
When was the last time we heard of them?
We have one coming
soon for a Funko soda.
We have one.
They've been whoring out black lights.
Yep.
When was the last time we heard of them putting a black light pop on the coming soon list?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I'm telling you that
the only thing really coming up on the coming soon list is small licensing and anime.
Look, I can tell you what I think's going on. You want me to tell you what I think's going on? They have a lawsuit that's pending. This lawsuit is for like $45 million. Funko is running cash strapped. So Funko is living month to month to month to month in a cash strapped right now. They're not making enough to cover their expenses. So this is what I think is happening at this moment. They were going to do their Funko Fair, but they didn't have the money to pay the vendor, right? The vendor said, I want my money. And they said, I can't pay you that. And they said, well, I'm not going to get them to you. So I don't know, but this is my speculation. The vendor in China is holding on to the products that they're supposed to be releasing this year because they didn't get paid for them. Funko can't pay them for them because they're about to have to pay out this lawsuit. They're going to have to pay out this lawsuit because Mariotti, excuse my language, fuck the company. That's what happened. He gave it to them, and they took it, and they kept taking it, and so they're gonna have to pay out another $45 million. This will put them in an extremely bad spot as far as their cash flow goes. That's what's going. Look, that's honestly what I think is going on at this moment. Is that they're in a very bad cash position, and they got to figure out a way out of it. They're not going to figure out a way out of it because they put themselves in such a hole that no one's.
The only way they're going to figure a way out of it is if they can find an investor.
No one's doing it. eBay was their knight in shining armor, and they failed eBay.
Yeah,
I mean, eBay was their knight in shining armor, and they failed eBay. That was the investor they needed, and they failed them. But I'm going to get off that rant now.
Don't forget, before we go, coming up in a couple weeks, probably about a month, you are going to have the new Lorcana Into the Inklands releasing in card shops.
The other one's out right now. Just a heads up.
Which one?
The I just did a pack of it the other day. Bloodborns are out right now.
Bloodborns are still selling.
Yeah, you can get those at Walmart right now.
Yeah, the new one Into the Inklands, which they're talking about. DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, possibly. More Pluto style, 101 Dalmatians, stuff like that. Those are going to be some of the Treasure Planet is said to be in this one, which is kind of a got a cult following. So remember, card shops or releases in card shops on February 23rd, and will be available to mass market on March 8th. So
go support your local card shop. Go support your local card shop.
Yes, definitely support your local card shop, and I think that is great that they are doing that. And I don't know if Pokemon or Magic the Gathering is doing that, but I think that is great what they're doing for local card shops.
Go check me out on TikTok. Is Doomsday Delight.
Yes, I've already. If you haven't noticed throughout the whole show, they were sitting here, they were staring at me, and I kept munching on them. I couldn't stop munching on these freeze dried Skittles. So
go check my daughter and myself out. There's your name. Go check us out. We truly appreciate you. We'll see you next week on my channel, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, maybe we'll see. I'll probably have to talk to you about something backstage, but
I got you.
We'll definitely keep following. Next show will be on Wayne's. But don't forget, y'all have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and enjoy.
Hey, before we get out of here, I gotta give one more proof of what I said just a second ago. So when ships start to sink, right, the rats start to jump off the ship, right? I want y'all to just think of the content creators out there right now that have dropped Funko and are doing other things. Have a good night, guys.
Good point.
You guys are gonna have to put this in the description. I'm gonna leave this show tonight a little worse off, I think, quite honestly, than where we began. Everybody is watching this and watching this on the replay. You are now dumber and less important in life because of what has transpired here this evening. We apologize for what's going on right now. I'm gonna try to pretend like none of this happened.